Hello, Luke. I have been looking forward to meeting you just as the Emperor has told me. Whoa, hold on. Just listen before you try to strike me with your lightsaber. I want to let you know the plans that the Emperor and I have for you about your destiny. Luke, I am your father. Join me, and I will complete your training. And we will destroy the Emperor and rule the galaxy as father and son. This is your destiny. Wait, hold on, don't fall. Don't look down. Get away from the edge. Luke!
I've been a fan of the Star Wars saga since I was 7 years old, and I haven't missed one movie yet. I began to relate to what led Anakin Skywalker to becoming Darth Vader, and how he embraced the dark side. Anakin wasn't understood and heard, and even the Jedi Order turned their backs on him. When he got a taste of the dark side of the Force, he liked it, and fully took on his alias, Darth Vader. He found solace in that, and I found solace in the dark too.
It's all there is nothing more. Can I get a witness, somebody? Who told you that you couldn't have that love of God? Who told you that you were not worthy?
Shut up, be quiet. Shut up, be quiet. Shut up, be quiet.
Jason, Mama's baby. I named him Jason after a movie I watched called Jason and the Argonauts. And I knew that when I had a son, I would name him that. And I did. It's unfortunate that I didn't handle the episodes that Jason had differently. I did the best I could. I vaguely remember how that day went when I first witnessed Jason having one. It was during church service. His uncle was preaching, and Jason stood up with his eyes wide open and told his uncle to shut up multiple times. It was embarrassing. I had to make him stop. So a church member named Barbara and I took Jason down to the lower level of the church and sat him down. I was calling his name and he wasn't answering. So then Barbara told me that I should take my son to go see a doctor. Now, I know my child, and I told him there is nothing wrong with him. He is just being bad. Then Jason lifted up his head and started looking around and asked what had happened. I told him he knew what happened. He had to. I assumed he was aware. I wasn't going to let him get away with what happened. So I punished him. Listen, I'm done talking about this. I know I wasn't wrong for how I handled things. I did the best I could. I moved on, and it's time that Jason did too.
So, you want to talk about my son?
Jason, Adeneye Ojudan Benefield, Daddy's man. I gave him his middle name from a Nigerian man that I met. It names me God's gift, and every eye sees you.
I remember when he was 3 years old. He prayed for me and healed me after I came home from work with severe back pain. All I remember is him crawling over to me, laying his hands on my back, and saying, "In the name of Jesus, be healed." Hallelujah. I was instantly healed, and I knew how special he was. I only want the best for my children and to protect them the best way possible. But I knew that no matter how hard I tried, that I couldn't protect what Jason was going through when he was having his episodes. I personally witnessed him having one. It was on a summer morning before I went to work. I went into his room to check on him, and I saw him shaking uncontrollably in his bed, and he wasn't responding when I was calling his name. So I immediately called 911, and I prayed and prayed and prayed so hard that I cried, and I pleaded to God that he helped my son through his episode. Then Jason opened his eyes and began to speak to me. I had a joyful feeling of relief when he woke up. I was glad I was able to get him the medical attention that he needed. I will always try to be there for my son as best as I can. Jason, at Dingley, old Judan Bitterfield, is still Daddy's man, and I love him dearly. I don't understand what's going on with me. I don't understand what is happening and why I'm just in this darkness. I just seem to live in darkness. It is a peaceful place that I rest in. But yet, there is comfort in this place of darkness. Because when I'm in the light, that's when the hurt just begins. But I am just truly not sure of what is going on. But I am sure that this light reality is not where I belong. This darkness, though, I really seem to really like this darkness. Because when there is no light, I am safe and strong. There are some moments that I can remember that when I came out of the dark and into the light, I would either endure pain or I would find a pathway to resolution. One episode took place when I was 12 years old and we were living in an apartment. I remember waking up on the kitchen floor next to the sink. I must have been doing dishes that evening. And I heard my mother calling my name repeatedly. "Jason, why are you on that floor?" And I said, "Ma, I'm sleepy." Then I remember getting hit with the belt. And I didn't understand why. I was on the floor asleep. Well, I was put on punishment for a month. Another episode took place when I was kicked out of another school for being in a new school for having an episode. I was called to the principal's office, and my father was sitting there. And the principal told us that I was in the playground running, and that I stopped in mid-stride, and I stared for a few minutes, and then I began to run again. She told my father that it looked like I had something called a petit mal seizure, and suggested that I go get an EEG to have my brainwaves checked. These are just a sample of episodes that I can recall. I began to realize that when I was in the dark, that's where I felt most at peace. I felt loved, there was no judgment, and I truly liked it. But I look upon the new beam of light as it shined bright before me. I believed that I had control of it to no longer radiate in my view. So I placed my hand over my eyes to cover the shades of color. The beam continued to gleam vivid as the morning sun. It spiraled like a kaleidoscope. Yellow, orange, red, fuchsia, aqua, violet, spinning slowly, presenting its glory, forming an array of beauty that does not allow me to adjust my oculars. Love, joy, peace, harmony, abundance, unbelievable good energy, going in and out, up and down, all moving to its own rhythm, yet calling me to not obstruct myself from observing and enjoying this pattern of elegance. When I was a child, my subconscious needed to escape into this dark world. But now that I'm an adult, I am now on a spiritual quest to finding my light.